piece, huh?
In one piece, a piece and a half. But anyway, hey guys, I spent 3 days or 4 days, whatever it was, in California, meeting people, and it was incredible. You know, they took me on a yacht. It was 60 feet long, and they gave me the main bedroom. I was going to sleep there for the night and everything. So on the 4th of July, I took my bags and everything, went to the yacht. We were on the yacht all day. We went out, up and down the canal, right up to the ocean, then made a U-turn, came back up and down, all over the place, showing me everything. It's crazy. On the canal, it's Newport Beach, and houses are 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Some of them are 50, 60 million. Unbelievable. What a sight. And everybody has a bikini on. A little string. It's like a rubber band. I saw more asses in 2 days than I saw in my entire life. So, I mean, it was great. Everybody was hot. Then we parked in. We were sitting there. There was about 6, 8 people on the boat. We were talking, hanging out. And at night, when it got dark, we pulled up and we went out again. Everybody, all the people came out with their boats, blowing their horns, going up and down that canal again, fireworks going out, every house, every store, every building, whatever's there was fireworks going off like crazy, horns blowing, police vehicles, small boats floating around, trying to keep everything under control. It was crazy. It was really, really nice. Awesome. I went there to relax. I need another vacation to get away from that. So when we came in that night, I went to bed on the yacht, and it was so beautiful to sleep because the water is constantly moving the boat just a little bit because it's in the spot there, whatever they call it, the slip. And I slept like a baby. It was like being rocked to sleep. It was so comfortable. The bed was great. And so the next morning we got up, we went out with the yacht again, floating around. We stopped at different places, parked the boat there, and went in different places to eat breakfast or lunch or whatever it may be. And it was incredible. We went all the way out. And on the way back in, we were going in the slip, and I hear, drrrr. Something happened with the propellers or broke, and we pulled in. That's the end of the yacht. So, but we were still on the yacht. And then there was a friend of mine, Rocky, who was there, and he had a place in California in horse country. I forgot the name of the town. We went there. He owned a nice 3-bedroom home, and he had a small apartment that's actually attached to it, but it was like a 1-bedroom apartment, a guest apartment or something. Mm-hmm. And he gave me that to stay in. It had its own shower, bathroom, bed, and a door. When you open it up, you go right out to the pool. And he had 2 dogs, and he had 2 horses right in the backyard. It was nice and deep. Incredible. One was a Tennessee Walker or something, brown, beautiful horse. The other one was dark. I don't remember what kind of horse it was. I wanted to ride the horse. So he said, the next time you come down, we're going to go to this big ranch, and he'll give me the Tennessee Walker because I got a bad back and it's smooth. It has a nice gait, and it's nice and smooth to, ride the horse, sit on him and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. So I got to get a cowboy hat, real tight jeans, belt buckle, the big buckle, cowboy boots. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to do next time I go down. It's on my bucket list now. And Rocky's a good friend of mine. But he's a good friend to another good friend, and they welcomed me with open arms. People were overflowing. I think they got word that we're doing movies in California and stuff. Mm-hmm. No matter where we were, people were coming over in droves. Mm-hmm. They wanted selfies, this, that, and the other thing. And, one woman was really gorgeous, in her 40s. So I grabbed her arm and I said, oh, come on, you can hang out. She says, I'm married, my husband's right there. I said, I won't tell him. Don't worry about it.
It goes over the boat. It goes over the side.
I told her, another day, baby, another day, another life. We'll get together. But I had a great, great time. I met some guys, wrestlers. They wanted to meet me. They went to Rocky's house. I mean, I looked like a little baby next to them. They were big. These were 300-pound guys, 6 something, 2, 3, whatever they were, 4. They were big guys. I got some pictures. We took a shitload of pictures. They're gonna be out. They're gonna send all the pictures that we took down. You're gonna see them, hundreds of pictures of the yacht. And so anyway, the yacht was broke, and my friend Art has a boat, more like it's a big boat too, but it's a speedboat type of thing. And we went out on that, and it was great. That boat, we went out into the ocean, because you could only go 5 miles an hour, so you can't make waves. So we did that for about 40 minutes to get out to the ocean. And then we hit it, bro. They gave me the wheel, and we hit it. We were riding around and all kinds of things. We took all kinds of pictures, me driving the boat. We got back. We were about 200 yards away from the slip, and the boat just died.
Oh my God.
So they were breaking my chops, and they said, we're going to change your name from Sammy the Bull to Sammy Titanic. You just wrecked the yacht, you wrecked the boat. I said, I didn't do anything.
Oh.
But, you know, if you got a wife that's married, her husband dies, she's got a boyfriend, the boyfriend dies, she gets married again, he dies. You call it a black widow, and you don't want to marry this woman. Everybody she's married to dies. I mean, so, you know, now they don't want me to take me on their boats, I guess. But
The chat wants to know if you did any fishing.
no fishing.
Well, not that kind. The other kind.
Yeah, tell them, say, listen, under fishing, that kind of fishing, you know, I don't have to go to California. I'm always fishing. I am a fisherman. So I'm always looking for a new fish. But, you know, we had a great time, great food. We went to one place. What are those things I said?
The scallops.
The scallops were this big and this thick. They, when you cut it to open it, they were like butter. I never tasted a scallop like that in my life. The food was great. This place, everything was great. So, and we had reservations no matter where we went. There was lines to get in. We went right to the front of the line, went right in.
The best.
So they have all kinds of connections there. And I had a great time. I really did relax a lot. I got up early in the morning. I went out. My friend Rocky gets up. I call him my friend now, and he's my friend. He really is my friend. We go out. I get up early. I go out. I can't get a cup of coffee because he makes his own coffee, gets the nuts. They grind it down. He grinds it down and makes it that way. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I had to wait for him to get up. When he got up, he would do it. We'd have a cup of coffee. He makes breakfast for himself and me with the horses there. I mean, I haven't been this relaxed in years. I treated myself, you know, with kid gloves, and everybody around me did the right thing and treated me really good. And it was incredible. I had an incredible time, slept, relaxed, boats, yachts, fish. For you, fish were all over the place.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, there was fish all over the place. But great time. I even made some connects for some stuff in Hollywood. It was almost by accident. You know, I didn't go down there for that. But I'm not even going to say the businesses, but a couple of guys, they know, Rocky knew. And he made some calls to some heavyweights. One place, his friend has this big farm. I don't know if he said 100 acres or 1,000 acres. It's huge. And a lot of these companies, they go there and they make weddings and everything. So the place has got to be huge, right? And he knew some people in different businesses who use him. And he says, tell Sammy, I'll hook him up and you know, put him in with some people. And he called them and talked to them about me. I came back with Anna. I have their names. We're going to have Zoom calls with them. So all kinds of stuff coming out. I got a big producer who's calling me, did a movie, gave me the trailer, and he said, look at it. It was very well done. It was good. A couple of, not huge actors, but named actors. You would recognize them. Yeah. So he wants to do independent movies with me. And we texted him this morning. I'm going to set up a Zoom call with them. So it opens the door that I might do some independent movies. He's got a project or two. I have a project or two in mind. And I texted him back, why don't we just get together and do all these projects together? And he texted back 15 minutes ago and says, Sammy, I would kill to have that done. Yeah, I'll definitely. So we're hooking up with a Zoom call with him, see how that works out. I hope it works out.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. And you Amina fans out there?
Oh, she is burning up the chat,
Amina, I have a
hello, Earth to Amina.
Yeah. One of the parts I have planned for her is it's a cartel movie. And I go into a town and I fall in love with this Mexican broad. And I think I'm going to have Amina play that part. But they fall in love and they have to kiss. This is the only way I can get to kiss her. I can't kiss her. I mean, she won't kiss me. But in the movie, she has to. Otherwise, she's fired.
Body double.
I get a body double.
There you go.
So.
Intimacy coordinator.
Yeah. And for you TikTokers, bro, I was on the plane coming back, and there was an Indian woman. I think she was 100 years old. And she recognized me, and she's pointing at me, and she's saying, TikTok, TikTok. And I said, you saw me on TikTok? She said, yes, my granddaughter, showed me. And she wanted to do a selfie. So I did a selfie with her. We're not dating. If you see the selfie come out, she's 100. I know I'm up in age, but she's 100 years old. So, and
Sammy got a huge response back from your soft white underbelly interview.
Yeah, I did soft white underbelly. I did an interview with them. I think I'm at 340,000 views on it. He called me up. He wants to do another tour, interviews. The guy was great. I mean, he's a great photographer. I think he has 5 million or 5.5 million followers. And we went to his place and we had a great time, me and Anna, and he did an interview with, this is the last time I was in California. So maybe the next time I go, I'm gonna do another one with him. He was a great guy.
Yeah, Mark Ladia.
Mark Ladia?
No, Mark Ladia.
Oh, Mark Ladia.
Yeah, your chat's talking about it. They said it's incredible. And Mark, when we were leaving, said, I do about anywhere from 6 to 10 interviews a day. You are by far one of the best storytellers I've ever seen and heard.
And he ain't no liar.
No
He's
liar.
a liar.
He's a lot of things, but he ain't a liar.
He's a great guy. I mean, I told him, we went there, I said, if you want to cut it, he's a good-looking guy, tall guy, good-looking guy. So I figured he wanted to get this done quick and run around with the chicks. But he was great. He was easy to work with, great personality. I like to joke and play games, and and he's the same way, so we had a great time doing it, a lot of fun. And
oh, Sammy, your flight attendant is on TikTok watching you right now.
Yeah, it was crazy that there was 2 flight attendants, and one of them, the young one, she's looking at me, and I didn't know if she recognized me or she was flirting with me. I didn't know. I was super excited. So, but she just recognized me. She wasn't flirting, and she was there when the Indian woman asked for the thing. She was great. They were great even on the airline. People recognizing me on the thing.
TikTok says she was flirting.
She was flirting.
Like,
all right. Listen, I'm flattered. She was young. She was beautiful. And I'm flattered if she was flirting. But she was very personable. She was good to the people there. She was great. No matter where we went, it's incredible. I think once we make a movie or two, when these movies come out, only God knows what it's going to be like. But I mean, this is without exaggeration. No matter where we went, I mean, now one or two people came over. They want to take a picture. People were, Sammy, is that you? Boom, and they were coming over. Incredible. You know. Well, that isn't Mark. His place is in California, so a lot of those Californians know him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got 5,500,000 followers, so they all know him over there.
Yeah.
And so God knows how many views he got on it. So.
You want to remind our amazing viewers of the Christmas and July special still going on, Sammy?
Yeah. I want to remind you, first of all, let's press like and subscribe, and then Christmas in July sale, 50% off of cards and my artwork, 30% off of signed pictures, baseballs, and whatever else. And we're moving on and doing certain things. And I'm working on so many projects at the same time now, you know. And that's why this little vacation really helped me a lot. It really did. I missed my dog, my Lily. My son picked her up. She stayed with my son, and she's great. And she's over here laying down in her spot. She knows what's going on.
Yay.
Yeah.
TikTok, here's Lily.
There's Lily.
Oh.
And now she's looking up. She knows what we're talking about.
She does a great side eye.
She gives you
Oh
a
my
side
God,
eye.
she's
You
the
talking
queen
about
of
me?
side eyes.
Was she so happy to see you when you got back?
Oh, she was jumping up and
I
down.
thought my side eye was bad.
You know, she gives little, what I call love bites. When she gets super excited like that, when I was gone for 3 days, 4 days, she comes running and she nips. It's not a bite, she can bite, but she just makes these love bites, little nips. And she's wagging, her tail is flying around. She's super excited. She probably thought I was never coming home.
Aw, Lily Beans. She's a great dog, Sammy.
Yeah, but my son took good care of her.
Yeah.
And we have a woman here now, I think Amina set it up, that takes the dog. I don't want to put it in a boarding place. So she comes over, she takes the dog, not only walks it and feeds it, she takes it home with her, plays with it, makes it run. So, and it's, I think, $89, Amina?
Yeah.
$89 a day. How do you beat that? 3-4 days is 2 and change, but she's getting all kinds of love. I know that. You know, I almost canceled the trip.
Yeah.
If my son didn't jump in, I had told Art, I said, Art, I'm ready to come. I'm packed. I'm ready to go. But if I can't get this dog in a good place, safe place, and I'm not coming. But you know, we got it. My son came to the rescue.
Yeah. Thank you, Gerard.
Yay. You ready to get into last week's questions and give some
Yes.
shout outs?
We're
Yes.
gibbering like two Yenses.
Yes.
Okay, so let's give some shout outs. We have from last week James Goldsmith, Jacob Kelly Reiser, Anthony, Vionis, Melissa, Marshall G, and then Janet and PA. Give her a birthday shout out. Her birthday was July 4th, and she was also the winner of one of your photos last week.
What's her name, Janet?
Janet.
Janet, happy birthday.
Yay, Janet. Also, a very special shout out to Acting for Fun Lions, Lisa. She was in the hospital over the 4th of July weekend. She actually wrote in, she's super sweet. Her birthday is on the 11th, so happy birthday to you, but sending you prayers and love and hugs, darling. She wants all the listeners to know that if you ever experience dizziness or blurred vision, get it checked out, because she immediately went to the ER and the doctor said that she was so lucky to have been alive and walking around. She had a brain hemorrhage. There was
Wow.
bleeding in her brain.
Wow, yeah. Have those things checked out. Check it out, Lisa. If I could help you in any way. You know, can I just jump in with something, because I forgot something.
Yeah, of course.
When I went to this, the last day on Sunday, all the people, Rocky, his girlfriend, Art, his son, his wife, all these people, 10, 12 of them, were telling me, they go to church on Sunday, and they were telling me, Sammy, come. So I said, it's been a lot of years since I've been in church. You know, I'm afraid that the church will catch on fire if I go in there. But they were breaking my chops. So I said, I'll go. It's a Christian church. I haven't experienced anything like that. I mean, I went to regular churches. I'm Catholic. They were all up in the air, hands moving, jumping up and down, bands going off, band. There must have been thousands. The place was huge. They have 13 or 14,000 members. There must have been a couple thousand people there. So now everybody's got their hands up and they're waving to Jesus and all of this stuff. And I looked around. I think I was the only person who wasn't waving, so my hands went up. I don't want to be like a misfit, so my hands were going up along with them. And then comes to a part they jump up and down. So I started jumping up and down. And you know, I was telling a couple of my friends, they said, Sammy, you're crazy, you'll just do anything. So I said, you know, I enjoyed it. But let me say this part, is that while I was with Rocky and I finally agreed, I was in his backyard, I said, I'm gonna come. 2 seconds later, I got some sort of a message, and it was somebody saying, not to me personally, but to go back to Jesus and go back to religion. There was somebody singing in the background, and I said, Rocky, look at this. I just agreed, look at this. And he said, if I wasn't here, I wouldn't believe this. You can't make this shit up. 5 minutes later, I got a message on my messenger thing, right? And it's pictures of saints and things like that. So I said, I just agreed, and I got 2 religious things sent to me, and it was amazing. So, Lisa, you know, I always think I believe in God, and I think I'm touched by God. And now a little bit with the church. I enjoyed it. I may continue that role. You know, I like this new Christian thing. Maybe I'll become a born-again Christian. I don't know. I'm not planning on it. I'm not promising it or anything like that. But I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. We went to dinner after that. And Lisa, with your stuff, my hands are crossed. I'm praying for you. They're up in the air. I'm talking to Jesus. If I can come to church and I'll become a born-again Christian and I'm doing these things, the first person I want you to heal is Lisa. Help her out. So I wanted to put in that part about going to church. I forgot all about it.
That's super sweet.
Yeah, it was great. Well, I had a great time with it too. It's not something that was forced.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to go in the beginning, but when they all asked, they were treating me so good, I said, I'm going to go. But when I got there, I'm not disappointed. I'm real happy that I did go. The preacher was on fire. And a lot of stuff he said was based even on common sense, which I understand. So I understood where he was going with everything. He's not a guy who, everybody, all those people love this preacher. It's something, Ocean something church in California. You can look it up. I'll put it out, you know, when I get the right name and everything. And I took pictures there. So when we get all the pictures and we put pictures out, wherever we're going to put them, you'll see it. You'll see me there. And I had a great time. Made me feel good too.
Yeah.
I was
Awesome.
relaxed. That, you know, it wasn't forced.
You're in the right place.
Yeah.
You felt accepted.
They had a great band. I mean, the whole thing was really like a celebration to God and Jesus, but it was a celebration of life and them. The smiles on these people's faces and how the love and stuff they showed. Then they said to clinch, Art's son was on one side of me and my friend's wife was on the other side. I put my arm around both of them, holding them.
Yeah.
And then people in the back of me were touching my hat, touching my shoulders and stuff. So they get that feel and love. They're spreading love to one another. It was a good thing. I'm not disappointed I went. I'm actually very happy about it. So I think you might see more of that. It's not any kind of act or anything like that, but it's when I enjoy something and I believe in it to an extent, I do believe in God. I may not believe everything they're saying, but, you know, I'm not being forced to believe it. You know, so I like that part of it too. And so I think I'm going to do more of that, especially when I go back to California. It's, you know, the guy was great,
Yeah.
the pastor.
It's wonderful. You know, some of our most brilliant minds that we have now, like Jordan Peterson and Tucker Carlson, they talk so much about how it's always been a spiritual battle, life, good and evil, the yin, the yang. And you could feel it. It's palpable.
It is. And he talked a lot about the country and what's going on. And, you know, you got to believe facts. He actually talked about people on social media that knock people all the time and this and that. He wasn't talking about me or my situation or people like that. I think he was talking more about people who knock the Christians for, you know, celebrating or whatever. But it made sense to me in a lot of ways. I liked what he said. I agreed with what he said, which is surprising to me because
Yeah.
I'm not too easy to please or make me believe something. So
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. They sent word that I was there, and it was. I almost felt like he gave me I know I was there in eyesight. He threw like a kiss or something. You know, he didn't say my name personally, but he was happy that I was there,
It's amazing.
and that was good too. So I enjoyed the whole thing. The next time I go down, if I go down, from what I understand from Rocky, and I go to church, if I'm there on a Sunday, I'm going to go down, I'm going to meet him, talk with him, and whatever.
Wow.
He seemed like a pretty good guy.
That's great, Sammy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready to move on?
Amanda.
I'm just watching you guys. All right. One last birthday shout out. Richie Giuseppe Gamino. He said, "Today is my brother Robert's 68th birthday. Will you please send him a happy birthday?"
Happy birthday, Robert. 68, you're young. You're young.
Squirt.
You're young yet.
All right. Okay, let's jump into last week's questions. So I have a question from Pepmar. He said, "Sammy, in your free time, what did you do for hobbies? Take away the gangster mafia stuff, everything that's mafia related. I want to know you. What is it that you truly love to do in your free time?"
Well, I was busy a lot, but I loved my farm, the horses and stuff like that. I had race horses, trotters and paces. I loved it. My family was in, you know, when you get something like that, that the whole family loves it, it's beautiful. I enjoyed that to no end. I also enjoyed hunting, fishing, stuff like that, getting away with the guys, going out in the morning, stuff like that. I loved it. I gave stories. I never wound up getting a deer. I never got anything. I didn't care about that. But getting away with the guys, playing cards at night, smoking a cigar, having a cup of coffee, a drink or something, it's, you know, when you relax your mind, your whole body relaxes. You become mellow. And it seems like you sleep like a baby. Well, to me anyway, that's what happens to me. So I liked hunting, fishing. I could tell stories. I went out deep sea fishing for blues and stuff like that. That's, you know, I took Louise one time, was close to me, and she threw up on my arm. She got
Oh no, you're just supposed to.
she got seasick. She's gonna hate this.
She hates
She's
that
gonna hate
story.
this. She won't talk to me no more. But you know, I enjoyed all of that stuff. My mother-in-law and father-in-law had a place in the Poconos. I always enjoyed going there with my wife and my kids. That was great too. There was the lake. My family, my mother and father was in Long Island, Lake Ronkonkoma, and I used to go to the lake over there. We had a boat. A boat is a big job. Horses and boats, I mean, it's a big job. There's a lot of work all the time. Something's always breaking. Something, you gotta go get the gas, hold this, tie that. It's a lot of work. But I enjoyed boating. I enjoyed the horses. and I enjoyed hunting, fishing, and it was not so much for the kill of hunting, it was getting away with the guys, letting your hair down, talking, you're up in the mountains. It was cool.
Okay. Eric Savath wants to know, Sammy, did you know of any gangsters that talk like the kind in the 40s?
How they talked in the 40s?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them were, like my father's age, I guess. And, they talked broken English. They talked English, but it was like, I'm a don't know what's going on. They have accents. They talk.
That's awesome.
So they talk the same as we talk, I guess, but with a little bit of an accent, and so I think that's the way they talked.
That's great.
All right. El Gato wanted to know, he said, Su Sammy salute. I like the consigliere position. What is it exactly? Like, what is it like? And then he also followed up with, who was the biggest pimp in New York in the 80s?
The biggest pimp? I mean, I don't really know who the biggest pimp was, but I didn't know too many pimps. I did meet a few here and there. I think that the black mob had, a lot of control over the pimps. They have a lot of big names. A lot of black guys were heavyweights in that area. They made a lot of money with it, so I really don't know the pimps. As far as the gunzier is a very, very smart position. I like that position. He's a negotiator with other families, and he's almost like a professor of Cosa Nostra. And he goes and straightens out problems and situations for the boss with the other families. He advises the boss about Cosa Nostra, and if there's a problem within the family, he's always almost like a lawyer. He's negotiating the settlements and whatever. So it's a good position. It's a strong position, powerhouse position. He's part of the administration. The administration's boss, underboss, and gonzier. An underboss is more of a pit bull for the boss. He's the boss's right-hand man. When the boss barks, he's supposed to bite. And he protects the boss. He's a protector. And he's obviously a very powerful position as well. If the boss is not around, he's the acting boss automatically. People will go to the underboss. But the gunzier is a little more relaxed position, and but it's a good position.
Okay. Pizza Dave wanted to know, hey Sammy, did you hustle fireworks back in the day? Brooklyn was great July 4th.
Always. Everybody had it. Block parties came out. People would go in front of their houses, put out food, fireworks. It was all over the place. Anthony Spiro was the gunzier, the Bonanno family. He would put on a tremendous display on Bath Avenue, all kinds of food, fireworks. He was a great guy, a good guy. He was the neighborhood type of guy. He had pigeons on the roof. He had a pigeon coop on the roof that looked like a house. I mean, he spent a ton of money with that, and that was Anthony all the time. So he did the same thing when he had the fireworks, put out a big display for the people and the houses, and a lot of times pull up with an ice cream truck. Kids would get ice cream, no charge. Just go to the thing, ask the guy for ice cream. He would give it to him. At the end of the day, he would pay that, whatever the number was. I did that once or twice myself. But Brooklyn was a great place like that for the 4th of July. Everybody came together. You got to remember, it was a different era. People were coming from wars, World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War. There was a lot of people who were very, very, loyal to the country and patriotic. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. And very little crime, from what I remember, happened on those days. You were safe as a bug in a rug. So It was always good times. I loved Brooklyn. I loved New York. It changed, but back then it was a beautiful place to live.
Okay, Mark Clark from last week asked, Sammy, any stories on Jerry DeNono if you knew him?
Jerry DeNono, I hear a lot of things about him. He was a killer, he was this and he was that. The name is so familiar to me, but I can't picture his face, and I don't remember if I did anything. But the name, I do remember the name. But I don't remember anything I've ever done with him, or I would have to see a picture of him to try to, rock my memory. I might turn around and see his picture and say, oh yeah, I know who he was. But he wasn't close to me, that's for sure. I would have remembered him. But I heard the name, I remember him, supposed to be a tough guy. I don't even remember what family he was with, but I heard the name.
Okay. Ragav says, I can see that you admire Joe Bonanno. What do you think about his plot to kill Carlo Gambino?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
So he asks, I can see that you admire Joe Bonanno. What do you think about his plot to kill Carlo Gambino?
Well, he made a plot. It wasn't just Carlo Gambino. They were going to kill all the bosses and take over the commission. It didn't work out. It backfired. He went on the lam. He took off. His son Salvatore Bonanno, Billy Bonanno, was still in New York. He was the consigliere of the family. They shot him. He came back off the lam. He sat with the commission. They chased him out of New York. Told him he was going to go to Arizona, Tucson. He did go there. He opened up some cotton farms, some cattle farms. I think he had a piece of a couple of strip clubs. I almost met him out here when I got out of prison the first time, and he just chilled. They told him, you stay out there, we'll never bother you, you're done, and if you come back to New York, you or your son will kill you. That was the decision. And he abided by that. He almost got killed years later. He wrote a book, and he didn't cooperate, so he didn't have the right to talk. He had to live by the oath. When you wrote the book, he mentioned the mob, the Mafia, that it exists, positions. They took it as a rap move. I remember being in Paul Castellano's house when he told me the story. They were going to use his book in different cases against the Mafia. And he had given me the contract to kill him. By the time he got done with the whole conversation, he withdrew it. He said he was in the Bonanno family, it's their problem, forget about it, don't even bother, which is good. So I didn't do anything to hurt him or do anything. If he didn't pull the contract back, I guess he would have been a number on my list.
Okay. Acting Fun for Lions asked, did Paul Castellano's daughter ever speak out?
As far as I know, no. And if the question is pertaining to Paul's death, the answer is no. They didn't talk with the police. I don't think they talked to anyone. They understood the father was in the life. They respected him. They loved him. They didn't say a word. I don't think to anybody. I never heard a word come out of them, negative in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, JB Weld says, I heard on another channel that Carlo Gambino dove under a desk one time when Greg Scarpa pulled out a handkerchief in the room with him. Have you ever heard that story?
Hell no. Hell no. Listen, when Carlo Gambino was in the room, there's always 3, 4, 5 guys. I don't give a shit with anybody. Even if he was alone, he had no fear of nothing or nobody. If somebody pulled out a handkerchief and he dove under a desk, that's not the Carlo Gambino I know or know of. And if a guy would have done that, Greg Scarpa, he would have been killed in that fucking room instantly if he pulled out something against Carlo Gambino. Okay. Instantly.
Hendov Muhammad says, Sammy, my boss, which religious group dominates prisons?
Prison group. I would say the one that dominates prison the most is the Aryan Brothers. They're all stone cold killers. They all have multiple life sentences, meaning they don't give a fuck. They'll kill you. What could you do to them? Give them another life sentence? So they almost got a license to kill. They do kill very easily. I know in some prisons there's 20 of them, 15 of them, 1,000 inmates. Nobody fucks with them because they will kill you. And no question asked. And they were all pretty tough guys. They were all, most of them were all lifers. That means they all got life sentences. They were very, very tight. They were feared. I mean, there was a lot of gangs that were feared. The blacks had tough crews. Everybody had tough crews. But I think the most feared was them. They weren't playing any games.
Okay. I believe that is all I have for this week from last week. I'm going to turn it over to Anna so she can get on the super chats for you guys.
Sterling, I hear TikTok is blowing up. Lots of good questions. You want to come into the mic and give Sammy some of those questions?
Sure. So our question is about Greg Scarpa. In the case where the KKK murdered 3 men, part of the Freedom Summer campaign to help African Americans register to vote in Mississippi. Sammy, what can you tell us about that?
I knew about that. Greg Scarpa was a informant for an extremely long time. Very, very dangerous guy. They killed a couple of black guys down there. The KKK, Ku Klux Klan, whoever they were. They killed these black guys. They weren't able to find their bodies. They knew they were gone. The FBI couldn't get to first base. They went to Greg Scarpa and they asked him to go down there and see if he could find out. He did go down there. He grabbed some of these guys, from what I understand, 2 or 3 of them, and he told them, I'll kill you if you don't tell me where they're buried and whatever. And they said, you can't kill us. They thought he was an agent. And he said, I'm not a fucking agent. I'm a gangster. Put a gun in his mouth. He says, I'll count to 3. I'll show you guys I'm not. The guy had the gun in his mouth. He says, I'm going to count to 3 and I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to blow his fucking head off. Then I'm going to ask you guys where the fuck the bodies are so they can bury them. Their families could bury them. Now, years later, this came out, and there was a movie about it. I forgot the name of the
Mississippi Burning. Mississippi Burning.
Mississippi Burning. And that's about him. They talk about him in that. But I knew that story, years later when we found out he was cooperating with the government. After that, they made this movie, Mississippi Burning. You could see it. I don't know where it's playing. It's an old movie. But yes, he did. That's exactly what he did.
There were reports that J. Edgar Hoover, the one that denied there being a mafia, actually was the one who gave the order to send Scarpa down there.
I don't know. I didn't hear that. But J. Edgar Hoover, a lot of people, he was gay.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say he was gay and that's why he didn't recognize the money. It's not. He didn't give 2 shits. He was gay with another agent, a big agent. And he was the head of the FBI, ran the FBI. And the reason why he didn't want to recognize that there was a mafia is because Frank Costello and him were like this, close, very close. And he loved going down to the track to bet horses with his friends and people. And they would rig a race, the mob. And they'd give him what horse is going to win and what race. And he loved it. He was like a little kid. He went down there, he would bet that horse, and his horse would win. He'd win a lot of money. I don't think he cared about the money, but he won the money, and he partied with his friends, and he was all happy. He loved Frank Costello and the Mafia. He hated guys down south like Babyface Nelson and all of those people doing crazy hits and stuff. He went after them. He recognized the Mafia as they killed their own. It's not a big fucking deal. They take care of neighborhoods. He refused to bother with them. So he said, there's no such thing as the Mafia. He damn well knew there was a Mafia. He was friends with them. And that's why he never bothered them. Because they weren't a threat, in his opinion, to society. These other people were a threat to society. He sent Frank Nitti and all them other people down south, and they went after bank robbers and killers down there. Pretty Boy Floyd, all of that stuff. Bonnie and Clyde, all of that stuff he went after. But he wouldn't, but it's not because he was gay. I don't think the Mafia didn't care he was gay. I don't think anybody cared he was gay. And that's how he found out a lot of information on a lot of high-level people, prosecutors, judges, senators, congressmen. He had dirt on everybody. Now, he was closed door gay, but not really. A lot of people did know. But a lot of those other people that he knew about nobody knew. So he can call shots with all those people. They couldn't even get him out of office when they tried. He just knew too much. They wouldn't fuck with him. And he just ran his life the way he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And so I know a lot of stories. They'll say, well, the Mafia had that on him, and nobody would have used that on him. First of all, he loved the Mafia. We would have to be crazy to use it against him. And how could you use it? So what? He's gay. So you know he's gay. Who gives a shit? There's half the country, not half the country, but a big portion of the country was gay. Who gives a shit? It's not criminal. You can't hurt him with that. And if you tried to hurt him with that or try to make a fool out of him or do something, he'd come at you with the whole fucking FBI. So nobody fucked with him. Not politicians, no one, and especially the mob. They loved him. He denied that there was an FBI. Everybody and his mother knew that. My mother knew there was a mob.
Mafia.
So, he just embarrassed himself a little bit by doing that, but he didn't give a shit.
Have you seen DiCaprio's portrayal of Hoover in the movie?
I haven't seen it. No.
And it portrayed that his mother tortured him for being gay, and would call him sissy boy and saying all kinds of just tortured him.
Oh, really?
He'd have lovers quarrels and stuff while he was in the FBI.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that movie, and but I do know that he was gay, and I heard that whole story and stuff like that. But the Mafia loved him. Yeah. I mean, he never sigged the Mafia, the FBI on the Mafia.
Yeah.
And he had his reasons. He had friends there. Frank Costello was one of the main guys who was his best friend. Frank Costello wasn't gay, but they were friends. Frank Costello, was just close with him, liked him. He was easy to deal with. He wasn't looking to go after the mob.
Do you remember the Stork Club in New York?
Yes.
They used to hang out there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they did a few scenes of Hoover and the guys and stuff hanging out at the Stork Club.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I heard. I was never at the Stork Club. I heard about it, but I was never there.
Cool. All right, Sammy, I'm going to jump in the super chats. To start off, we have Rangav, and I know I pronounced it Raghav. Hi, Sammy. Why can't guys grow a beard or mustache in the Mafia?
Years ago they would call them the mustache Pete's. If you look at the Mafia guys in Sicily and even in the United States, they had these big, long mustaches. They called them the mustache Pete's. But later on they said, we want you to be clean shaven. You don't have to get dressed like John Gotti, but dress up a little bit. They wanted their own look. Now, Chin had a beard all the time, but it was, that he didn't shave. It was a reason why. he got away with it. Otherwise, they would have told him to shave. So they don't want you to have super, super long hair. They don't want you to stick out and be like a sore thumb to them. So one of the things was, no facial hair. And at one point, they said, we don't want you going down south on women. And of course, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I think they got rid of that law right away. The commission wouldn't agree with it. So I would think there was a couple of guys on the commission that were muff divers.
Oh my God.
So
They're
they
like,
said,
nay.
Fuck that. I ain't going along with that.
Oh my God.
But they come up with some of these rules on occasion to do that, and that rule stuck.
You talk about having the long hair like the Beatles when you were going to take out Crazy Joe Gallo. When did you cut your hair?
Well, if you notice when I got pinched with my Gumbar Alley, boy, my hair was long. But I mean long, like Sterling's hair. It's hanging all the way down, or like your hair, or ponytails. You see guys, they didn't want that. If your hair was long, it was the Beatles days, everybody's hair was a little long. It was this style. And even a beard, like if you were scrubby a little bit, they didn't consider that was okay.
Oh.
They were talking like a big long
Like ZZ
beard,
Top.
but everybody, the younger guys, no beards, they shaved everything. But some guys had a little scruff to it, But
Interesting. Okay, Lisa, acting fun for Lions, just wanted to super chat you, Sammy. Happy Monday to my gangster family.
thank you so much.
Gas can lip. Gumbara, I appreciate all your advice on how to deal with grief and death. Who cares about the little worms talking about your feet? Your content is extremely valuable.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Just like I said, when I went to the church, I know I'm not trying to be,
No,
a
yeah.
hypocrite, but I enjoyed it. I enjoy truthful, good things as much as I enjoy other things. But so I appreciate everything you're saying.
Raghav is back in the super chat. Sammy, is there any age limit to getting made? Can an older guy more than 60 be made? Excuse me. Can a younger guy under 20 be made? It is rumored that Gambino was made at 19.
Yeah, when they came from Sicily, in Italy, it was different. They were groomed as kids, growing up in those small rural town areas and stuff. When they came here and they were young, they were already not brainwashed, but groomed in that way. So they were making, I believe Joe Bonanno was made at 21, or a boss or something like that at 21.
Wow.
There's no real age limit, especially older. Older people become more wise with age and time and situations. So no, there's nothing wrong with a guy 60 or 70. The only guy over 70 that they probably wouldn't make is Joe Biden, because he doesn't know what fucking planet.
Wait, who? Who did you say?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
They wouldn't make him. So, but there's no age limit. Listen, the older you get, you become wise. A lot of kids today, they'll grow up. They'll say, I'm an adult. I'm 18. It's true. Legally, you're an adult. But they don't have the wisdom of an older person. We always think we know more than our mother and father. We don't.
Right.
We don't. Wisdom is an important thing in life. It teaches you, when you're young, you're so aggressive. There's a lot of things that you would do that you wouldn't do when you get a little older. So wisdom is a smart thing. It's like saying going to college. Somebody will go to a community college for 2-3 years, 4 years, and graduate. Now they're going to go to another college. Before you know it, another college, to Harvard. They get smarter and smarter. They don't get dumber and dumber.
Right.
So, and same thing in a mob. Common sense and life will teach you so many things. I know the old people that I'm talking to out there, they know. Our kids know everything. Don't get mad at them. Because that's what we thought when we were kids.
I know.
So, but wisdom is a very important thing. And later on in life, they'll learn more wisdom and they'll be more wise. So don't get mad at them. We felt the same way. I know when I was 18, I thought I understood the world. I know everything. I didn't know shit.
It's so sweet too. It's so endearing because they're so super smart and sophisticated, and then they say one thing, and you're like, it brings you back to remind you they're still a kid, kind of, you know?
Right. Yeah, that they're kids and they're growing. So you don't want to make a person too young. They haven't experienced enough, especially in this country. Like I said, you go back to certain, and that's not just Italy. You go back in Mexico to these rough towns and areas where there's all kinds of crime, they get more experience. They're experienced more at a younger age. I have a couple of friends of mine, Ortel, who's a Jewish girl and young girl, beautiful girl, and the wars that go on, she's got experience. When I'm talking to her, I almost like talking to her like she's a woman. Because of the experiences that they undergo over there, the wars, all these things. You know, they hear sirens, they go to safe places in the house.
Wild.
They grow different.
Right.
So they become older, wiser, younger. But not in this country. They don't have that tough experience. I mean, I think the last war we were in was what? Vietnam War?
Mm-hmm.
They're not in wars.
Right.
They're not familiar with a lot of things. I mean, I think I got drafted at 19 years old. I was only in 2 years. I learned a lot in the military. I was with guys from every single state in the United States. I met people from all over the place. Mm-hmm. And I learned they have different cultures, different thinking, different everything, every race. So I think that was my first step that I started learning a lot of things that I never would learn in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. So, you know, time puts you in different situations and it takes you a while. So when you get to become a made guy, you're in a very powerful position, and they want to make sure that, you know, you use that power wisely. And experience teaches you that time, watching things over and over and over and over again. I'll give you one quick example. Tato, I was with him, I loved him, and I respected him, and I had told him one day, I remember when I was young, I wasn't made yet, I said, Tato, I don't have a lot of education, neither do you, but it seems like everything you say and do always works out. You seem to be so smart. And you don't have the education either. How did you get it? He said, you see that garage across the street? Yeah. He said, one day a guy came and says, I'm going to do a flip off of that. And it was 18, 20 feet up in the air. And Tyler said, go ahead. He did it. And he broke his ankle, back injury, all kinds of injuries. Happened to him once or twice or 3 times. By the time the 4th guy came and told him he was going to do something off the roof, he told him, don't do it. You're going to break your leg, your ankle, you're going to hurt your back. That's wisdom. He's seeing these things over and over again. So the 4th guy who jumped off that roof, all he could tell him, I told you, that's wisdom. Time, watching things happen. People get a divorce, your kids grow up, they see things, they learn what the father said and did, they learn what the mother said and did, why the divorce took place. It takes time. When they get married, they'll try and stay away from certain things. Certain kids who grow up, their father or their mother's a drunk. Those people want to stay away from it. They don't want to repeat that. Wisdom. All of the situations, do that. A girl is beautiful, she's dressed sexy, she doesn't realize how sexy or how beautiful she is. She'll get herself caught up in a situation with 1 or 2 people who are too aggressive. She knows now. So all of a sudden, she might pull her skirt down an extra inch or two, or she'll watch her back. She'll watch that somebody might slip something in her drink. So now she's becoming more smarter. Wisdom is teaching her this. So you don't want to make a guy who's born and raised in this country at 18 years old. He's really naive to a lot of things.
Yeah.
They want somebody who's more seasoned.
Yeah. You know, all the studies that are coming out are saying that the luxury and the privilege and all these, you know, things that our kids have that we didn't has put them into a phase called extended adolescence. So instead of being the young men going to war and learning all those things, they're still developing, so to speak.
I heard guys in the military, I was in the military, a lot of military guys talk to me, and they'd say, if a war breaks out, who's going to go fight this war?
Mm-hmm.
The kids are just not the same. So, as they were.
Yeah, it's true. what you said.
And it's a shame, but, you know, it's just time does these things to people, and especially now what they're teaching in schools and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Not a chance.
he, she, them, you can't even get a name.
Yeah.
What are they? A man, a woman? Who the fuck knows anymore? And they don't have to even, they could say they were a dog and start barking.
It's crazy.
And you have to respect that. I mean, this is the world that we're living in now. So things like wars or wisdom, they're gone. It's not there.
Yeah.
They don't have a tough life. They're being babied. You know.
Mark Clark, had John asked, what would you advise him on how to avoid getting caught on bugs?
John? Gotti? Geez, I don't know what to advise him. We knew. I was in the club one day, and this is on, they've seen it, the agents knew it, and I was sitting in a chair like this, but it was more of like a rocking, it rocked back and forth. And I was sitting exactly like I'm sitting now, and I rocked a little bit, and something hit my ankle. And I looked, I didn't see what it was. So I got up, John was talking at the table, and I looked under the table, and there's a wire hanging. I picked the chair up a little bit, and there's a curl of wires with a microphone. It was a bug. I went, yo, I snapped my finger. He looked at me, I went, look. But without saying the words, I pointed and I looked down, I went like that. And we saw it. It was a bug. Now, we know that the place is a bug. We found it. We decided to leave it alone and talk and say things that would hurt them. George Gabriel, when I cooperated, said, Sammy, you almost fucked up my case. I said, why? What happened? He said, somebody said to you, who do you think killed Paul Castellano? He said, you said, I think the government did it. They had enough for him, they killed him. Guaranteed. Now that bug, they have to give that bug to the defense lawyers. So here we're in a club, is our safety zone, and I'm confused on who killed him. So how the fuck could you get me arrested for that? So you can't say, well, he's lying now. I didn't know. Well, how am I supposed to know the place was bugged? So we try to use it and play with it, but then that's when John started going in the hole and going up to the apartment where he got caught. So I don't know what the fuck I could have taught him. I watched everything I said and done back then. My office was bugged. I think we had 9,000 hours of tapes. And the number's so big because there was 5 bugs in every different place in my office, different places. So no matter where we walked and talked, we were on tape. So you heard about sports, you heard about a boxing match, you heard about, oh, this girl, what a fucking ass she's got. This is gorgeous, bro. That's what you heard. Bullshit. Men bullshit. Talking. Diane Sawyer got the agents and said he had 8,000 or 9,000, I think it was 9,000 hours of tape. They said yes. How the hell did you listen to all those hours? Well, we were listening to them as they're happening. And they explained where the bugs were and how many there were. There was a bug in my car that I used with my driver. There was a bug on a construction site. We had a trailer. The trailer was bugged. I assumed all these things were bugged. Well, my guys were taught, my crew, when you wanted to talk to me about something serious, they would grab my arm, Sammy, I don't want to talk to you, wait, I'm playing, and squeeze my arm. As soon as they squeezed my arm, I didn't care who I was talking to or what I was talking about. I would say, excuse me, and I would leave with them. We'd go out, there was a schoolyard, we would go to the schoolyard, go through the schoolyard, walk around, and whisper, talk our hands in front of our face, talking about serious shit. That's why I'm not on tape. John, he knew this and went to a maid guy who passed away, his wife's apartment, to talk. I mean, you have to be taught that? That would be the worst place for me to go. That would be like, listen, and I want to talk to you. Where do you want to go? Sammy, let's go in the police station. We'll go in the bathroom. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in the bathroom with you.
Yeah.
To listen, to talk. It's crazy. So I don't know what you have to be taught. He went to jail. He knew what time it was. He's been in the street all his life. He needs me to teach him. You got to know this.
There is a regular chat question that asked, true or false. Is it true or false that Gotti used to put off fireworks when he got acquitted?
Oh, absolutely. 1 year, I'm there. I'm in the picture there. Me and him, we walk outside. We're looking up in the air. That's what we're looking at, fireworks.
Wow.
When he got acquitted, they went in a building somewhere away from us. They were shooting off on the roof, fireworks. And
Wow.
we're standing outside, looking up, looking at it. Yeah, that was
Jeez.
once, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe in his own neighborhood, he might have did it more than once, but right by the club down Mulberry Street, it happened once. I was there. I saw it myself.
Raghav with another super chat. Sammy, can a guy like a businessman hire the Mafia to hit a rival? Can I approach a boss and offer him $1 million to go and hit someone? Is this okay for the mob?
No. No. We don't kill people for money. And you could never even get near a boss to talk to him like that. There's always guys around bosses. Always. And we filter who goes near the boss. Or whatever. There'd be 4 or 5 guys stop you before you even got through the door. Before you entered the door. What do you want? We want to talk to him. Who the fuck are you? What's your name? And one guy would go back to the boss and tell him, Joe Blow wants to see you. Listen, in tallies, I used to sit in the back, play cards and stuff, and guys would come in, Sammy, this guy Joey Senna wants us to talk to you. Where is he? And I grew up with him, so I knew who he was. He's by the bar in the front. They won't let him come in the back. And then I went to the front and I talked to him. If a woman who was a friend of mine came and they'll tell me, Louise or whoever it was, is out front. She's asking, I would get up and go talk to her. She can't come in and walk in the back either. Nobody could come to me. I was the underboss. Nobody could come to me and walk into the place. We don't know who the fuck they are. They're not coming in. So, and especially a lot of times, like Carlo Gambino had a house in Long Island, nice, moderate house, nothing fancy, no fancy dance shit with him. It was goes on Ocean 13. and they had an apartment on Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn. And Ocean Parkway, you'd come up to on the elevator like a hotel, and you'd come to the door, you'd knock on the door, and 2, 3 guys would come to the door. What do you want? Who are you? So, no, you can't, you can't. And then we don't kill for money. You know. Now, you may say you'll find a case where somebody did that. Listen, there's always a case where somebody did something. But rule of thumb, we don't do that. You know, let me tell the story. I told it a bunch of times. Let me say it again. One day, Huck came to me and said, Sammy, this is in the beginning. He said, there's a guy here wants to pay you $25,000 to kill his wife. I says, all right, tell him to give us $12,500 up front now, and the other $12,500 after she's dead. And Huck looked at me and says, Sammy, I thought we don't do that. I said, we don't. I'm going to rob him. Take the $12,500. And then, when he comes back, tell him, you know, if you want to leave your wife, there's divorce court. Go get a divorce. We don't kill fucking people. Sammy's keeping your money. Now, if you don't like it, go to the FBI and tell them Sammy robbed you for $12,500, but tell them what you were paying for or trying to pay for. So go fuck yourself. He's not going to go there. What's he going to tell the FBI? I wanted Sammy to kill him. I was going to give him $25,000. He wanted $12,500. They'll say you got sucking, you stupid bastard. He wasn't going to do that.
That's crazy.
So whether it's $25,000 or $25,000, $1 million, it ain't getting done.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah. And you know, if you came up with a big number, I think what would happen is, okay, give me half or give me 3/4 of the money, give me some of the money up front, and we would kill him. Case closed. She's alive. And who would know that this guy came? Why wouldn't you rob him? Guy's gonna plop $1 million in your lap. All right, give me it. For no reason. You want me to kill somebody? Yeah, all right, give me the money. And you go. End the case. And you got the $1 million. It's ridiculous. No, we don't kill for money, thank God. And I would have never stayed in the Mafia if you kill for money.
And the wife gets the insurance policy.
What?
Hey yo! And the wife gets the insurance policy, and everybody lives happily ever
everybody's
after.
happy.
Okay, Javier Mejia, me and Mateo here once again, Mr. Gravano. Anything in the making with the Johnny Keys thing? Mateo is 2 years old, and we've been here from the start.
Here's what I'm hearing on that, and I'm going to get some grief for this. I'm going to be getting in trouble a little bit, but I don't give a fuck. They told me that they're looking at 4 different directors. They're picking which director they want, and then they have the story. Nick Pileggi will write it. They'll have the director. They'll go to a network and sell it. They're looking for a director now as they speak. So as soon as they get a director that they like on board, and they got the writer, which is Nick, we'll be doing it. I'm not sure if it'll come out first, before the scripted show, or after. I would assume first, and because I think that would help the scripted show and vice versa. So I think coming out first is good. And when you get to that point in the scripted show of my life, they'll give flashbacks, and we could have pieces of it. But I'm not making those decisions. Aaron Kaplan is the man, he's my partner, and he's the man.
Yeah.
So I leave those decisions to him. There's no way I'm as smart as he is, knows this business like the back of his hand. That's just my opinion, and that's all it would be to him. I don't make those decisions. He runs everything by me. I give my advice, but I don't dictate. The only thing I told him is that, the guy who plays me, of course I want to know who it is. And I told him, if you pick Danny DeVito, I'm coming with a fucking gun. It's not happening. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my gosh. Wait, where's our? Come on, read it. Okay, Raghav is back in the super chat. A lot of love from Raghav. The FBI always bugs social clubs at night when the club is closed. Why didn't the Mafia keep the clubs open 24 hours a day to avoid this?
Yeah, well, they'll find a way around it. You got to shut your fucking mouth. You know, you got to find a place that you can go somewhere. I met Louis Melito one time. He came by my house. There was a Holiday Inn, I think it was a hotel, a motel, whatever the fuck it was. And he says, I got something really important. It's going to be a lengthy conversation. So I said, let's go down the block. Well, we'll be walking around the block 15 times. I said, let's go to a motel. And we went in the motel, and I told the guy, give me a room. So the guy says, how many days? No, just for a couple hours. He said, bro, look at the way the guy's looking at you. Why? What do I give a fuck what he's looking at? No, they probably thought like a short. In other words, that me and him were going to go in a room and have sex or whatever. But that's what we did. Never in that fucking room, a 1 minute decision. You couldn't bug that if you tried. So you have to be careful in that life. You got to assume the whole government is coming after you, bro. They're not jerk-offs. They're agents. This is their job. They're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So keeping the club, Paul's house, they bugged his house. Now let me tell you how they bugged his house. How the fuck do you get in there? He's got a maid, wife, everybody's in the house all the time. They fucked up. They know he had a television. They know from informants, you know, what was going on, but they couldn't do it. They wanted to bug his house. They knew where he sat, where we sat in the kitchen. They fucked up the television, so the television was blinking on and off and this and that. And Paul said, "The television ain't working. Get somebody to fix the thing." He made a call. Tommy Bellotti made a call. He was a smart guy. Made a call to just look through the yellow pages, pick anybody. So nobody knows who he is. But they interfered with the call. Whoever he called, no matter who it would have been, the FBI picked it up. I got a house, but here's my address on, Toadell. And this is what's going on my television. They went in, and the guy who went in is an FBI agent, and he had a suitcase, knows exactly what he's doing. He goes in, there's other agents outside, and God forbid he got in trouble. He's wired, the whole thing is wired. He goes in with his tools, he's fixing the television, he takes something out and replaces it. When he's replacing that, it's a good bulb or whatever it is, let's call it a bulb or tube. It's a good tube. He takes it out. He knows he's going to take that out. He's putting a good one in, right? And at the same time, he puts the bug in the television. What the fuck does Tommy know about the inside of a television? So he comes out and he says, "Hey, this was what was wrong, the tube he took out. I put a new one in. It's going to be good now." And he makes a phone call. "Could you try that? Put your television on." Put television on. Boom. Crystal clear. Television's good. Everything is good. They paid him. They even gave him a tip. And he left. Now there's a bug in Paul's house. So you're dealing with sophisticated, smart people who do this intelligence, they call that, against different countries and everything. These people, you can't fuck, they're smart. So you have to be extremely careful of what you say and do. And if you're not, you wind up like John Gotti in that apartment, 5 months of tapes, murders, everything he's talking about. You want to sit in an apartment that a maid guy, it was his apartment, he passed away, and the wife has got it. The guy Norman was the coffee guy who ran the place, and it was his aunt. So he'd go up and give her a few dollars to take, go shopping, and John would use it. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. And we all went, they wrecked all of us. We all went to jail.
Didn't Joe Rogan say he was friends with Norman DuPont? Like, they knew the guy that had the upstairs apartment above the Ravenite?
Yes. Well, I knew him good.
Yeah.
Norman. He's the guy who ran the club, the coffee guy made coffee for you. And it was his aunt who had the apartment.
Crazy.
His uncle was a maid guy. The guy died. And the aunt had the apartment. So he just made John go there. They throw a few $100, go shopping.
What a small
And he go
world.
up there and talk. But he's talking right to the buck.
Xavier James in the chat is saying Angelo, Genovese captain, was caught on tape saying how Gotti brought down the whole thing. And he was telling Sam and Frank about the Cosa Nostra and all that stuff that you guys already knew. But other people all the families were agreeing.
Right. Listen, all the families were so upset with how he ran it from day one. The flash, bringing the whole, this is what coordinated. The FBI got the DEA, because Angelo Ruggiero and them were dealing drugs, so the DEA, again with the FBI, and the New York State Organized Crime Task Force, all together, every one of those big agencies, together to come after us. It was the Eastern District and the Southern District. The prosecutors from two districts got together. That's the Attorney General of the United States and everybody. You're talking about the most sophisticated part of the country. We were talking one day in the street. We passed a truck. We saw ourselves on the screen. The satellites. That's satellites watching us. I mean, that's the degree that John brought. They weren't allowed to use those. But he, beating the cases and rubbing it in their face, they brought the whole fucking government down on the Mafia. And this is why that show on Netflix with John was the worst boss ever and all of it. That's what he did. End result, that's his legacy. Yeah. He brought the entire fucking government on the entire mob. And his tapes, and Angelo Ruggiero's tapes, made the commission case. Every boss, underboss in Gonzales got pinched. It started with his tapes. They went to judges, they bugged every fucking thing. And that's history, that's what happened, that's fact, and that's his legacy.
Wow.
You want me to teach him? Teach him what? You've been around, he was 4.5 years older than me. You're almost 5 years older than me, and you became the boss, and you're a street thug. You want me to teach you? You don't know?
Gas Can Lip in the super chat. Sammy, my pompous Uncle Kevin watched The Sopranos one too many times and acts like Tony Soprano at family events. For your pal Gas Can Lip, can you please tell my Uncle Kevin he is a poser?
A what?
A poser.
A poser?
Like, forget about it.
Listen, what's his uncle's name? Or his
Kevin, Uncle Kevin.
Uncle Kevin. Tell Uncle Kevin to go get his fucking shine box and get the fuck out of here. Like,
Where's our...
We're like 3 seconds late on every joke. Okay. Dave Drick has had a lot of great questions in this regular chat. He does have one in the super chat. Sammy, what was the most significant event that made you reconsider your life in the Mafia, and how did it influence your decisions moving forward?
well, I mean, the one that made me cooperate is the bust, that tape, and John Gotti with the tape. And then I was mad as a bastard with the tape, but we could all get on caught on tape. There's excuses for things. We're brothers. I want to kick you in your ass, but you're my brother, and it happened. But to sell me out on fake tapes and then tell the lawyers we're going to wrap the case right around him. He's going to take the weight. He's going to go to jail for the rest of his life so I can go free. Fuck that. Fuck him and fuck that. That was my decision. That was the biggest decision ever. I could take you make a stupid move or a bad move. I'm going to get mad. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to hate what you did. Stupid fuck. You know, you fucked this broad. Ooh, she's gorgeous. I agree with you. But she's Joe Blow's wife, bro. Then you deserve to be killed and your dick cut off and stuck in your mouth or wherever it's supposed to go. How stupid could you be? Paul Castellano's daughter asked me one time, I was married and I was maid, and I was in the house. I was waiting for Paul. She came down. He's not ready yet. And she made the maid make me coffee. She was talking to me and said, you know, she was very friendly. I knew her well. She's a beautiful woman. And she said, maybe one day we could go out for coffee. No. Now, it was coffee. It was not anything sexual. But fuck, this is a boss's daughter. I am not going to coffee and fuck that. You want coffee? I'll sit in the house and drink all the coffee you want. I'll stay here for 3 days drinking coffee. But I'm not going out. It'll look like a date. You're the boss's daughter. I'm not going. And I'm not saying she flirted or did anything. She didn't. But I'm not going to. Now, if some stupidity came out, I would be getting killed for a cup of coffee. And somebody would say, my best friend's going to shoot me in the head. Before he kills me, he should say, Sammy, it was the boss's daughter. You're going on a fucking date.
Yeah.
And before he shoots me. And I would tell him, go ahead, bro. I don't know what the fuck made me do that. So, there's just things you know instinctively that's not good. Things. Now, you could date my daughter if you're a straight, legitimate guy or whatever you want to do. But I can't picture a maid guy coming to me and tell me, I'm going to mate your daughter. Now, you could fall in love with her maybe a couple times, and then it could get somewhere, but you're going to come and date my daughter? No, I come in your house, I'll fuck your wife. You know, it just don't make sense. We know these things are fucking, you just don't do certain things in the life. And you grow that way. You don't need somebody to tell you that. I mean, it's already ingrained in you now. So, and like I said, she was, I don't want anybody to take this wrong. She's a beautiful person. She's a good person. And I don't think she meant anything wrong. Thinking, maybe we can go have coffee, this and that. We were friendly. But I'm not going to have coffee with her. No. If I'm going to go to your house, a lot of times I'll bring another guy or two. Or I'll tell her, call your girlfriend. Let's use Anna as an example. I'm going to go see Anna. And her husband is a maid guy, and I would tell her, all right, there's a reason I can't wait for him or whatever. But have Amina there. Call Amina, have Amina there. I want a witness. I want somebody else to be there. Because I don't want to be alone with her.
Right.
Because somebody could misconstrue that, and here I am getting killed because I'm an asshole. I don't want to die because of that. I'll die for other things, but not. I don't want to do that. So you got to know certain things that are in the life, certain things you could do, you can't do, and
Wow.
so I guess that's the end. Did I answer a question, or I just went nuts?
No, that was great.
All right.
No, it was good. Amaraga, hi Sammy. Was John Gotti supposed to be at the meeting the day Frankie DeCicco was taken out? Was there any suspicion initially on your end that John had something to do with it?
No, not at all. And John Gotti wasn't supposed to be at that meeting. Me and Frankie talked. We were on the land. We were living home. I talked with him. We were going to go by Jimmy Brown's club and then go downtown and meet John. So that was John's location. So Frankie says, come by Jimmy Brown's club, and I'll meet you there. There was going to be introductions. We'll meet some people there, and then me and you will go downtown and meet John. So John wasn't supposed to be there. There was no two ways about it. John, no. And I had no suspicion that it was John. John would have to be insane to take Frankie out. The reason that he's going to live is because of Frankie and John and me. Without Frankie, without me, that was his war team. No, there was no suspicion whatsoever. None.
Psilocybin in the super chat. Sammy, if MMA gyms were around back in your day, would you go to the boxing gym or the MMA gym?
I went to boxing gyms. I went to Gleason's gym and stuff like that. Yeah, I might have gone to the MMA, to train. I like training. I was in fights. I'm a small guy. I'm not a big guy. I was tough, but anything like boxing or MMA to add to my abilities in fighting, because I'm a street fighter, I probably would have went there. I don't want to fight in the ring professionally. I didn't want to do that with boxing either. I just went there. It was a good workout. I think the best physical condition I was in all my life was when I used to go to the boxing gym. The sweat, the workout you get is phenomenal. And when you box, every part of your body is moving, twisting, turning. It's your arms, your shoulders, how you're throwing a punch, your legs, your butt. Everything is moving and working. I think I was physically in the best shape of my life. And I have 3 girls who'll tell you, they'll be my witness, that I think I was in the best shape of my life.
I know, keep saying we need to get you a speed bag in here, because you'll take a call and sometimes you'll be like on fire, and I'm like, get the speed bag.
I could get some proof. They're older now, but I could get some proof.
Okay, let's see. Okay, Larry Fishkind. Sammy, what's up? Your opinion on the 1996 Gotti movie. How accurate was it? I have nothing but love and respect for you and your team and wish you the best.
Yeah, the 1996 one was the one with...
Armando Santi?
No, that was the first one. The 96, I think, was the one with John
I think that was like 2000. John Travolta?
Yeah.
I think that was like 2000 something.
Really?
Let me check.
Yeah, let's give it a check.
Hold, please. Larry, we're coming right back at you. 2018 was the John Travolta Gotti film.
That was the worst fucking gangster movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. Let me tell that story first. So the producers were telling me, go see it. I said, I want to see it. Go see it. They're going to be asking you questions about it. I went to the movie. There were 7 fucking people in the theater. And there was a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend, 1 row behind me and a little to the side. And I hear her talking to her boyfriend or husband, whatever it was, and said, all these people running around, we don't even know their names. Who the fuck are they? I was so tempted to turn around and say, listen, my name is Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano. I don't know who the fuck they are. Why should you? It was the worst movie I ever saw. But the one with
Asante.
What's his name?
Armando Asante.
That was the best one. He was great. He's a great actor. It was good. The guy who played me was a pretty good actor. I thought that was great. I wasn't too happy with it, but it was great. Yeah. I won't bullshit. That was a great, movie, the best one, for sure.
Yeah. Well, after Travolta did Hairspray, I can't see him. Like, I love Travolta, Urban Cowboy, you name it, everything. But after
And you know, the one with Travolta is that nothing was true. They try to make him look bigger than he was, because when they're in a bar, they're going to kill this Irish guy who kidnapped Carlo Gambino's nephew. And they're in a bar, the guy wouldn't come out. The guy who comes from the dark, right in the bar, is Travolta. It wasn't Travolta, it wasn't John. It was another guy who did that. And they got pinched for it. It was so dumb. They shot him in front of everybody.
Oh my gosh. The best is when he's walking down the street and the rap music's playing.
And made him, you know, it made him look horrible. And John wasn't like that. John yelled and did certain things. John was lovable and likable in a lot of ways. I'm just not going to bullshit it. He was likable and lovable in a lot of ways. And he was tough in a lot of ways. I was shocked when he did what he did with me. It broke my heart. I couldn't even believe it. It took me a while to even get over hearing and seeing it. And when he told me to my face, I just couldn't even believe it. But that movie just made him look horrible.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say something, I'm going to get in trouble again, but we're going to talk about who's going to play John Gotti in my movie. My answer to them is, I don't know. But I want somebody who's a good-looking guy, a good actor, to play him. Let's not get no shit-ass actor. I have no grudge. I don't want to make him look bad. I want to make him look, the actor's got to be a good actor, but be just like John. Whether he was a narcissist, overdresser, whatever. Let's get a good actor to play that part, period. And be him. The good, bad, or indifferent, you know, whatever it is. So that's what I would do in the movie. That's what I'm advising. Again, I'm leaving that to the powers to be, to pick me, him, and everybody else. But that's my advice. I want a good actor.
Yeah.
John warrants that. His history and his background and everything. The good, the bad, but the actor has got to play the right part. The good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it. The same thing with my actor. He's got to be able to, I mean, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I want him to be, you know, good looking like me. And I want him to bring in 3 women that he's had sex with over the past 2 or 3 years. And I want confirmation if he's good and bad. If he's not good and bad, I don't want him.
Oh my God.
Don't put him in this.
I think it's important to show that too, is like the multifaceted, complex life. I mean, we get questions all the time about how did you deal with living a quote unquote double life? During the day, you did all A through Z. When you went home, you were a dad, you were a husband, you took care of the farm, the animals, you know. Same thing, there was a brotherhood between you and John Gotti. How did you guys get so close? There had to be something good and pure there for a while between you two.
Listen, when you go into a degree, you're going to take out, Paul was the boss of bosses of the commission at that time. You're taking out the boss of bosses. And it's one of the golden rules. We're going to die. Or we're going to win this war. But we're going to be in a war as sure as God made apples. And the proof is in the pudding. Frankie died right away. Eddie Leno died. Bobby Borriello died. A lot of guys died. And John fucked himself up, got pinched, and then went to prison and died. I don't know, Anthony Ruggiero says it. He got all kinds of heat at the end. That's what John did. So whoever's playing John is going to have to deal with all of those issues. But like I said, he had a witty guy who's lovable. I loved him. He had a personality. I mean, he had defects. So the actor's got to understand all of that. And I'm going to be on the set. If the guy tries to do anything stupid, I'm going to say, that's not him. He would never do that. Or he would never say this. You know, I want it to be, I don't want to make him look like a clown. You know, they did that to me in one of the movies. They didn't want me to look good, so they picked people that they wanted to pick. I won't do that. He wasn't a clown. He was fucked up. He made a lot of mistakes. And the actor's got to play exactly who he was. And I think the truth of my story and the truth of him, the truth of me, I made mistakes though, is going to make the people, this is going to be a great movie because we're going to really not based on a true story. I want it to be a true story.
Absolutely.
The truth. I don't give a shit if I made an ass out of myself, I did something, when I cooperated, I want it all out there. Not for me, for my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. I want this movie to be epic. And when people look at this, I want them to be blown away. This is a true story.
Yeah.
The things I was involved with, even now, I say, how the fuck did I do this? Or how did I get involved in that? Or how, you know, I just wanted to be right. That's all.
Yeah.
And do a good job. So I would like a good actor for myself. I'd like a good actor for John Gotti. I'd like a good actor for my crew, guys, whatever. People who did the right thing and people who fought. Good actresses for who's going to play my wife or my daughter or my son or whoever. You know, I would want, because I'm going to watch this at the end, and I want to be able to say, oh, that's the story. If you like it, you like it. You don't like it, then you don't like it. But that's the story. Not some bullshit. They try to make John walk out of the thing, shoot the guy. He didn't do that. Why would you put that in there? And that was John Jr. who allowed that, told him to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know, you can make me, I shot Crazy Joe Gallo. I didn't do those things. Don't put that in there.
Yeah.
Don't try to pump me up.
Yeah.
Whatever I did, I did. And the same thing with John Gotti.
Jane,
Or anybody else that's in my movie. Girls too, women too. So hang on to your bloomers, girls.
Hang on to your
because
britches.
I tell this story.
Your pantaloons.
Their pantaloons. All right. When we were young, they were bloomers. You know, when we were young, we didn't have a dryer. We had a clothesline going out the back. And I never forget, there was an apartment house 4 stories high, big thing. And my mother made a wash, and there was a washboard. You know, I go back that far. So to make it dry, they put it on the line, with clips, clothes clips, whatever. And I saw a sheet. And my mother said, it's not a sheet. What is that? That's Grandma's underwear.
Stop it.
Grandma's underwear. Oh my God. And one day it blew loose and it wrapped around that building. I think all the windows were completely covered with our underwear.
Oh my, the Statue of Liberty.
That's not true, but.
Was that before or after you threw her down the stairs? Jane Marie in the super chat. I can only imagine how awesome the auditions will be. Will you be present, right, boss?
Oh, I'm going to be involved in it. Listen, we got a good director. I can't release the names, but we just got a major director on. And the guy told me, I had a great conversation with him, and he said, Sammy, I'm going to be there on the set. I want you there. As I'm doing and directing and we're making it, I want to ask you, is this right or that right? And yeah, I'm going to be there giving my opinions. I'm going to be in the writer's room the whole time with the writers when they write the scripts.
Yeah.
I got heavyweight writers, so I'm not even worried about it. I've been talking to them a long time. And so I'm going to be there, part of it. You know, I don't want no asshole bullshit.
No.
You know, let's tell the story. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Let's tell the story. I think that'll make a good movie. If not, you know,
Yeah.
it's my fault. But
swung for
I
the
would like to
fences.
have
Yeah.
you know, this done in the right way. And I think it will. I have a tremendous team. These are good people. And they're looking, you know, Nick Pileggi, one thing about him, he loves truth to a story. He loves telling a true story. He just loves it. It's just, to him, it's the right way to write.
Yeah.
You know, he hates making things up. So he's on the team.
Yeah.
So I'm confident that this is going to go good. Here's how fucking crazy they are with it already. I'm really this.
I
tape-
know.
This tape is going to get me in a lot of trouble.
We can't.
But here's what they're doing. They got people from the FBI, the DEA, the New York State Police, people who are ex-girlfriends or ex-friends that I knew. They're talking to them. I get a call. This guy called me up. He's asking me questions. Even my wife. Here's what they did with my wife. My ex-wife. They said, tell us about your marriage with him, the good times and the bad times. Tell us everything. And she told me. I said, Deb, did I ever threaten you, bro? No. You never hit me, you never threatened me.
Right.
I says, if the wrong story comes out, I'll fucking kill you. Don't fuck around here, bro. So she said, he never hit me, never raised his hands to me.
Right.
It's from the day I knew him, and I was 16 when I first met him. And, we had our good times, we had our bad times.
Yeah.
Did you talk about sex? No, get the fuck out of here.
I know that I can't wait till the press release and everything comes out, because even the director said he compromised a huge project back in the day for the truth. It wasn't the truth, so I stepped aside and let somebody else tell it because I refuse to compromise the integrity.
And that's the director I got now.
Yes.
This was another project he did.
Huge.
He walked away from a fucking thing because he didn't want to exaggerate what they wanted.
That's right.
He wanted to be able to tell a true story. So they put me and him together on the phone. We had great conversation. Great. I can't get into the conversation, but a great conversation.
Yeah.
And it was what? This guy, you could talk to him 10, 15 minutes. That's what you're allowed.
Yeah.
We talked to him for an hour and 35 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And
They were shocked.
At the end of the thing, he says, Amen. Amen. He called up Aaron Kaplan. Amen. I want to be in with him. I love his conversations, his things. And they have tapes. And they've gotten everybody who ever cooperated, their stories, and they talked with them. Unless they got a blowhard. There is some blowhards. Hello, we know who they are. We got some blowhards who bullshit. They're not going to talk to them.
Oh, no.
Because they know it's all bullshit.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Pizza Dave is saying, hey, Sammy, the hate is out of hand. Best way to deal with them is to ghost them. The silence will drive them nuts and confuse them, and then they'll stop.
And I do that the best I can. I appreciate your advice, and I do that. I'm advised by a lot of people, and it's true. I hear it. I'll see a video who somebody says. I put it down.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I blow a little bit. Once in a while, you just get so fucking mad. You know, it's not even if it's a tough guy saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a punk ass bitch making statements that he is such a fucking. They are whoever they are. A fucking fly in the life. Never cracked a fucking egg. Never did a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you're a fucking mafia expert.
Yeah.
Sometimes it bothers me to the point, maybe I'm already in a bad mood for something else, and I hear that, and I just snort steam a little bit. But you're right. I appreciate your advice. You're 1,000% right. I do my best. I ignore it, all the time. I hear it. I see it sometimes. Somebody will send it to me, and I just ignore it. So.
Yeah. So, Sammy, we are almost at 2 hours. I'm going to give you one more super chat, and then you want to wrap up?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Again, if we don't get to your super chat, we see them all, and Amina will hit them at the top of next week. So Peter is the last super chat, and he just wants to say, God bless you, Sammy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys, everybody. And I can't wait. I thought of an idea, is that, I love this chat that we have on Mondays, the Q&A, so much that I was thinking I'm actually asking permission from them. I don't want to rub anybody wrong. when the movie comes out, the scripted show, let's say whenever it is, on a Wednesday, right? So people will watch it on a Wednesday and a Thursday. Every Friday, I'll have a Q&A on my website so people could ask me about the movie and what happened. Is Jimmy getting killed? Is Lefty getting married? Is she divorced? You know, a Q&A about the thing. And on occasion, I'll get some of those actors and actresses, see if I can get them on my show with me. So we're sitting together answering your questions and stuff like that. I think it would be a great idea. I love it, and I would do it. So I was asked that idea, you know, told about it, and asked would I do it. I said, absolutely. I would love that.
Yeah.
I think, and my audience, my people would love that too. You know, it's got nothing better than that. And I did get a question, is, did Sterling fall in love with you? I think so, bro. I mean, I told her that when she first started.
Wait, hold on.
It's gonna happen. Whoa! They're throwing shots. No,
Oh my God, hit the
that's the
floor.
garbage. They're picking up the garbage.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All
Great
right, guys.
chat today, Sammy. Great questions, man. Your viewers are getting better and better and better. The questions.
Yeah, the great questions. I mean, and guys, I love you guys. Adios, motherfuckers. And she's not.